What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of E4 Tower of God Season 2. This is episode 5, I think.
I think this is episode. I love it. I
I
love
think it's
this
5.
again. It was episode 5.
Yeah, with me as always,
Um,
I have Blue Spade.
we finally get to catch up on both Kun and Rachel. I guess we could say this is taking place around the same time as as the other episodes. Um,
Yeah,
but
so, I mean,
what we see.
it does, and then we get some flashbacks as to what happened, like, immediately after, I guess, season 1, and, what happened with Kun and the other characters.
Yeah. So in this episode, Kun is trying to take care of Rachel, even though we know that she's not paralyzed from the waist down, because
Yeah.
she used that to as an excuse to lure Bam in a vulnerable position to the point where he gets pushed off that ledge.
Well, now, I mean, it's like, so we learned in the episode that Kun, like, he does know about, what Rachel did. It's been a little while since I've seen season 1, so I kind of forgot some details, but I was like, oh, does Kun actually know that what she did to Bam? And he does. So, he knows but he believes that Bam is dead. So, he believes that Rachel, like, had murdered him or something. So he tells that to some of the other members, and he it seems like he has some kind of plan to try to manipulate Rachel, and I guess maybe get her into some kind of a vulnerable position where he can, I don't know, like, kill her or do something. Um,
I don't think, like, I think he only told one other teammate of what Rachel did, but I don't think he
yeah.
mentions that he never brought it up with some of
Okay.
the
Yeah.
other characters. So, like, he says, like, the reason why he's not doing so is because if other people were to find out Bam was killed by Rachel, then the entire group would end up splitting up. But Kun decides not to do that, so he has like one of his other teammates. I forgot his name to to lead the rest of the group up ahead the tower, while he stays behind with Rachel, while he's recruiting other team members to join the group later.
Yeah, and we saw that in the beginning of the episode where he was trying. He was trying to get this one guy to join. I guess to join up with him. Um, and he basically, like, I guess we see the episode just shows us how, like, I guess how cunning Kun can be, because he tells this guy that, like, here he tries to show him this, like, valuable, like, stone. I forget what it was called. It had a name. But he tries to show him the stone, and then the other guy, like, ends up, like, running off with it. But of course it's a trap. Because there's, like, a wall blocking him. And Kun is able to quickly catch up with him too, even though, like, this guy has, like, some kind of super speed, and he's able to outrun him. But then he tries to run back. Kun lies to him at first and tells him, well, supposedly lies to him and tells them that him and everybody in the room is, like, he is actually, like, working with him, and like, the other guy, like, he doesn't believe that. So he runs back in there and ends up getting taken out, like, tranquilized by the guy at the bar, who actually is working with Kun. So it actually was, like, I guess Kun was lying that he was lying to him about people working with him in there. So
Yeah,
that's how he ends up capturing him.
and not only capturing him, but he also recruits him to, I guess, take these trials to become a new team member for Kun's group.
Yeah. Yeah, and we get introduced to some of these new team members, or these new people that are working with Kun. Um, so alongside with just reintroducing Rachel. We see that Kun, like, Rachel believes that Kun is trying to help her out in Bam's place, or at least she's letting him, or making him think that she believes that. Of course, like, she doesn't know that Kun already knows her secret, that she's not actually crippled. But because we see, as soon as of course, that as Kun leaves the room, that Rachel just of course goes back to just the personality that her I guess her real personality, where she's just kind of fed up with having to put on an act and pretend to be crippled, I guess, and she's just kind of I guess sort of just glad that Bam is out of the way, I guess, or something. At least it seems like that. Um,
Yeah, and of course, Coons knows this even further by sneaking a like I guess like a hidden cube or camera next to a window, just seeing all this play out. I mean, I'm surprised. Like any other
it's
normal person,
funny that
would immediately
Rachel,
kill
at
her.
least it seems like she thinks that she's kind of, in a way, like in control of the situation. Like she's gotten one over on Bam, and I guess she thinks that she's successfully manipulating Kun, and they're all like playing into it, like he's sort of playing into her hands. But it's actually it's that Kun actually knows what she's up to, and he already knows that about what she's doing. So it would be funny if at some point, I guess, the rug gets pulled out from under Rachel and she realizes that Kun is in some way, I guess, trying to stab her in the back, or just trying to get back at her because he knows what she did.
Yeah, I mean, like any like I said was trying to say before, like any other person who end up finding out about this, they would have immediately just tried to kill her
Yeah.
at that point. Like, but like with Kun being what he is, like he's buying his time until he finds the right place and time to at least kill her. But with Bam still being alive, like I think that I don't know, like I don't know if like that would like either throw that off or throw a wrinkle in that plan later. But
Mhm.
just as of right now, Kun is just like playing it close to the chest right now until like he finds like a good opportunity to dispose of her.
Yeah. And then there's another scene where like Kun explains, I guess, to his team members, like I guess what his plan is, that he's basically like plans to take over his because we did see some of this in season one, like he plans to take over his family, or take his was it his brother or something, like he's trying to get rid of and take over his family, I think, and that's why he's like trying to climb the tower.
Yeah, he wants to inherit his family's like entire um pretty much his entire family empire, so he
Yeah.
can take get all the power for himself. And he kind of promises whatever wealth he can get out of that for Rachel. But of course, like that's more or less a lie because he just wants to get rid of Rachel in his own way.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I like that this episode just showed us what Kun was up to, as well as like of course, introduces some more new characters, but explain like what happened to some of the other characters from season one. I would like to maybe at some point get see whatever they're doing. Like I think some of the other ones, like in Dorsey, and some of the other characters that climb the
Yeah.
tower ahead of Kun.
Yeah. So soon afterwards, we transitioned back to Bam and and his other group, and of course everyone else is like pretty much, yeah, like we're pretty much like staying in the room together while Bam like kind of goes off on his own to meet up with his you know what was it with his content. I think it was the same girl that he met back in the original series.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's the woman that maybe like trained him or something. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same woman that ended up meeting up with Bam after he fell off the ledge thanks to Rachel.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess he's meeting up with her for something. I don't know what it is. Uh, it yeah. So like I don't know. It kind of leaves us off in there until like we find out by the next episode.
Yeah. Keep forgetting her name. The one of the princess, like she was following Bam into this, like I guess this hideout for the Fug, or Fug members. Um.
Yeah, the I think yeah it was I'm assuming that that woman that Bam met in the original series is also a Fug member too.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, but like I said before, that pretty much where the episode cuts off from there, and then we'll pretty much have to see where it goes soon afterwards. In terms of like for Kun and the other characters, I have no idea if we're ever gonna go back to them soon after this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering if season two, we're actually going to see maybe like Bam meet up with some of the season one characters, or if that's maybe going to not going to happen until like season three or something. Um, maybe season two is just going to be Bam and this new cast of characters trying to climb the tower. I'm not really sure, but it would be interesting if
Mhm.
we see like Bam and Rachel meet up again, and Rachel finds out he's alive. I mean, that would be pretty crazy, but maybe
Mhm.
that's not even going to happen yet. So I mean, and I mean, it would also be interesting to see like what ends up happening with at least with like Rachel and Cone, like if she even finds out that Cone is trying to has some kind of plan for like trying to get back at her or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
but I
I
mean,
mean,
the other
yeah.
interesting thing too is like we really don't even know exactly like why I guess why Rachel is this way or like what she's really up to. So I mean, it would be interesting to get some more information about her, like why she even did that in the first place, or what she's really trying to
Yeah.
do.
I mean, she wants to climb the tower,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's just like now is that she's trying to. I mean, she kind of put herself into this corner by pretending to be crippled in the first place,
hmm
and now she's trying to come up with this act that she is in front of Kun this entire time.
yeah. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the episode though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I am kind of glad that we finally got to see. What's happening with some of the other characters from the first season, especially with Kun and of course Rachel.
I
But
mean, we
of
also
course,
got some flashbacks too of like from the first season, I guess, with what happened. I guess with Bam and Cone talking, as well as like Bam talking with Endorsi.
mhm.
It was interesting to see, like, and I think they even, I guess they went back to briefly, I guess, to some scenes that we saw in season one, but with the new art style.
Yeah, it's yeah. Looking at this, it does look like significantly different from what I can tell that since the first season. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think it's that bad. I think they have the reason of wanting to make it look a little bit close, to the manhwa as
Mhm.
possible. But yeah, I think it's like so. In my opinion, I think it's kind of an improvement from what it looks like.
Yeah, I appreciate the season one art style. I thought it had like a unique look to it. Like I said about this art style, it looks a lot more like a typical anime. I mean, the first season did too, but it had that kind of unique art style. Um,
Mhm.
but I mean, it kind of sucks that it doesn't really have that anymore. But I think it still looks fine for what it is. Like you said, it's sort of supposed to, I guess, represent the how I guess the art style for Tower of God has improved in the manhwa. Because I mean, I think I did hear in the first chapters, it kind of had like a rough, like sort of a rough look to it. Um, but it has gotten better. So like maybe season two is, I guess, supposed to sort of like represent that style change. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that all being said, guys, until next time, we will see you all later.